I don't know much about it, other than hearing a few things from Srila Guru Maharaj. One of which is, he said it was originally in the spring, but somehow in the course of time it got shifted to this time of the year. And told Mahaprabhu, when he was touring South India, he discovered Brahma Samhita, the 5th chapter of the Brahma Samhita. It's said to be 100 chapters. And he liked this very much. It's considered that all of Gaudiya Siddhanta is condensed there. And it's told that he liked to share that with his favorite disciples and Parshad Bhakta and his entourage. So many truths are revealed there. Much Siddhanta is compacted, condensed, concentrated, encrypted there. And it can always be used as a source, an ultimate source for corroborating Siddhantic truths. It is so perfect that one, Guru Maharaj mentioned, one gentleman challenged its authenticity and authorship, saying, it so perfectly supports the philosophy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I suspect that he's written it himself and telling that it's Brahma Samhita. And Srila Guru Maharaj said, if that's the case, that it's not written by Brahma, it's written by Mahaprabhu, he said its value has increased. Not that it's gone down, it's become even more valuable. Right? Just as someone said, Prema Vibhart so perfectly supports the positions of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Saraswati Thakur. We suspect Bhaktivinoda has written it. And another person said that the motto of Saraswati Thakur, Pujala Ragapat, Gaurava Bange, Matala Sarujana Vishairange, so perfectly corroborates Srila Sridhar Maharaj's understanding of the teachings of Srila Saraswati Thakur. We suspect that he's written it. Right? And in the case of the Bhaktivinoda Viraha Dasakam, Srila Saraswati Thakur, particularly upon appreciating the sloka, Sri Gauranamatam, Srupa Viditam, Rupagrajainadritam, Sri Radha Parasevanamrito, Tadatam Isho Bhavan, identifying the gift of Bhaktivinoda Thakur to the world, form of the Krishna consciousness movement, Radha Dasyam. When Saraswati Thakur Goswami was there, and he just saw the writing, he said, who's written this? And Goswami Maharaj said, Sridhar Maharaj. Saraswati Thakur, no, Sridhar Maharaj has not written this. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written this through him. So, that said, in the Brahma Samhita, there's one sloka, Srishti Shriti Pralaya Sadhana Shakti Eka Chayeva Yasya Bhuvanai Vibharti Durga. So, with regard to Durga Devi, it says Chaya, Srishti Sthiti Pralaya Sadhana Shakti, Chaya, Eva Yasya Bhuvanani Vibharti Durga. She is in this world, a shadow representation of the Hladini Shakti. And on this point, we may mention, according to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Jaiva Dharma, jivas are atomic chit, units of consciousness, atomic chit. That means Hladini Shakti comprised of Chit Shakti. Jivas have all the inherent qualities of Chit Shakti, but minute magnitude. Therefore, they're susceptible to being overwhelmed by Maya, or Durga Devi, if you will. But Mahaprabhu, we have to have a proper grasp of Sambandha Gyan. Sambandha Gyan, Bhakti Siddhanta Acharya, Srila Sanatana Goswami Prabhu, Brihad Bhagavatamritam, etc. But in Mahaprabhu's teachings to him, when Sanatana says, Kayami Kani Amoy Jari Tabitroy, Ihan Nahi Jane Kamane Hitohoy. Who am I? Why am I suffering from the threefold miserable conditions? Adhyatmik, Adidevik, Adibhotik, self-inflicted miseries, miseries due to from others, and Devi, Daivika means natural disturbances, what insurance policies they sometimes call acts of God. They say, this policy does not include acts of God. Thank you very much. Right. So, Mahaprabhu tells Sanatana Goswami, Jive Swarupai Krishnera Nityadas. We think, oh, we've heard this so many times. It's so simple. And then people not properly grasping the import of this statement, then they go on and speculate about the writings of Jiva Goswami and Krishna Prem and mental masturbation. What it is, a circle jerk of mental masturbators is what these internet forums are. Right? People have no realization, have no service connection to the Seva Mayuyam Loka that's being described. They will sit around and spout off about this, that, and the other thing. Right? Srip Damodar says, Bhagavata Parodiya Bhagavata Stane. If you want to understand Bhagavad philosophy, you have to, the book Bhagavad, you have to learn it from the person Bhagavad. If someone does not personify these teachings, and in fact, if they are a Maha Bhagavata, you're supposed to offer yourself to them in service. That's the response to identifying a Maha Bhagavata, as you feel compelled to offer yourself to them in service. That's the only natural response. It's just like coming in substantial connection with Krishna. Bhajaniya Sarvashat Guna Vishishta. You're irresistibly drawn to offer yourself, not to try and consume or use some superficial aspect of Krishna or Krishna consciousness for your amusement or to your advantage, to surround yourself with Krishna conscious music, Krishna conscious wallpaper. I'm burning the good stuff I got from Premji. And I got this, in Loy Bazaar, some primo stick. Right? That's what it's like. That's why I mock it. It's like that. It's the same thing. There's nothing there. It's air bhajan. Like the people play air guitar. They're not real guitar players. Hello? It's air guitar. So this is air bhajan. There's nothing there. Right? They're dancing in the dark. The darkness of ignorance, of Sambandha Gyan. So what does Mahaprabhu say? Jive Swarupai Krishnera Nitya Das. The eternal swarup of the jiva is Krishna Das. Means a loving servitor. It's not something you become, it's what you are. Only asmriti, vayamdatiya, biniveshi tatshat, viparyayo yat, what is it? Ishadape tasya viparyayo smriti. Forgetful of that, you're dreaming you're something else. There's at the universities, at least in America, I don't know about the rest of the world, you have these clubs, like sorority, fraternity, but then you have just some like out and out weird clubs, especially in California, or secret clubs. So there's this one group, when they graduate, on that day after the ceremony and everything, they go around Berkeley, California. Its nickname is Berserkly. Some unusual folks. But so they go in single file. They wear crazy masks and stuff, and they sing this song, "Row, row, row your boat," because it goes, "Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream, merrily, 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 merrily," and then they hit the last line, "Life is but a dream." And they do it over and over again until they circumambulate like a certain area of Berkeley. And then you're considered like, now you can go out into the world. But that last line, merrily, 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 life is but a dream of in Ashmiti Vinde, in forgetfulness of the lotus feet of Krishna, in service to the lotus feet of Krishna. That's the eternal position of Jiva. But on account of atomic magnitude, they can be overwhelmed by the deluding potency. Right? So we hear of Durga Devi, Parvati, Sati. Which one is it? Devi. That's why there's so many names. You know, Vaishnavi is the name of Devi also. Many different names. Different aspects. Like females have different aspects. So if they're going to be a perverted reflection of the original, it has to be multi-dimensional. Again, Brahma Sangita. What is it? Ananda Chenmaya Rasa Pratibhavitabis Tabirya Eva Nijarupataya Kalavi Goloka Eva Nivisat Akilatma Bhuto Govinda Maripurusham Tamaham Vajami. As Krishna expands and extends, Radharani expands and extends. Lakshmi is of Vaikuntha, Mahishigan of Dwaraka, higher, and then Brajagopis, highest. But then there's Biroja, that the neutral plane, then crossing into the world, this world, the gods and goddesses. Srila Saraswati Thakur reminds us in one of his talks that Durga Devi is a Brajagopi. You think she doesn't know what we've been exposed to? Of course. This is some seva. The superintendent of the jailhouse, that's a government sponsored position. And it's not considered that that person is evil, they're mean, they're a horrible person, they keep everyone imprisoned. Let me say, how can she do that? You know, we're told Maya is shy to come before Krishna, and like, I got deluding jivas as my seva. Shivas also sometimes express some unhappiness with Mayavara, such chastam prachanam bodhamuchite, Mayeva, Kopitam Devi, Tadiya, Kalo Brahmana Rupina. I come as Shankaracharya and delude everyone with Mayavad, which is covered Buddhism. Anyway, who can do this kind of job? It's like Guru Maharaj said in observation about Jesus and Judas. You think, wow, Judas, nobody wants to name their kid Judas, right? I don't know, maybe some neo-Nazis in America, you never know. But normally, Guru Maharaj said, when Christ looked at him, and we hear Judas looks at Jesus after Veronica wipes his face, and then Judas hangs himself from a tree. Guru Maharaj, he even analyzes this, says, what was in that look of Jesus? Like if you want like good quality Christianity, listen to Guru Maharaj. So he said, and the look was Jesus conveying to him, forgive me for what I've done to you. Not Judas saying, oh, I'm sorry. Jesus saying, and it's like, forgive me for using you this way. Your name will be black for all time to come. No parents will name their kids Judas. Your name will be synonymous with betrayal. Forgive me for using you like this. And Guru Maharaj said, Judas, seeing such compassion after what he'd done, betrayed him for 30 pieces of silver, he went and hung himself. So, here, fortunately, we get saved from Christianity. Durga Devi is so beautiful when you look at the posters of her. And actually, a little sidebar. Never ask a Bengali artist to paint a picture of Radha and Krishna, because what they do day after day, year after year, is paint posters of Durga Devi. So if you ever see a Bengali, there's always an exception. I'm generalizing here. But if you look at a typical Bengali poster of Radha and Krishna, Radharani will look like Durga Devi, just without the third eye. And then you can go, well, we could make a case, yeah, sure. At Durga Puja, we know they have pandals all over Calcutta. As the saying goes, that they go, Jai Ma Kali Kolkata Wali. Means like, Jai Ma Kali, I'm a Kolkata man. From a Kolkata man. I can't, there's one Indian lady disciple, is very dark, because one day Gurudev said to me, she looks like Ma Kali. So, in Bengal, sometimes people like to think Kali, like Kali, Ma Kali. Right? Ma. And I would see her, we know she's black, the red tongue sticking out, and with a garland of heads. And all the Bengalis look at her and go, Ma, mother. They don't go, oh, a very fearsome figure. When they see, they get a tear in their eye when every Bengali loves Ma Kali. We have some lines of a song, Jai Ma Kali, Kolkata Wali, every Bengali loves Ma Kali. And you can too. Our agents are standing by phones right now, ready to receive your call. You can. I mean, she sort of grows on you after a while. We know. As I've seen Gurudev make a mistake and go like that. And I've seen Bengalis do it. Like, if they tried to jaywalk in a car, they go, And where that comes from, the battle of the Devas Asuras, Ma Kali becomes hysterical, and she's killing everyone indiscriminately, even her own men. So only Shiva can stop her. She can't even recognize him, her own consort. So Shiva lies down before her, and she steps on his chest, and she's going like blood's flying, heads are flying. And when she looks down and she sees Shiva, she goes like, oops. That's the Ma Kali oops icon, emoticon. And that's how she stopped. No. Sati, after her lord was insulted, she self-immolated, reappeared as Parvati. Devi Bhav. Mahaprabhu, see, he starts off, it's a gradual, evolution means gradual expression. Growers. Like the sun is the way it is. It only appears to be a rising and achieving a position. Mahaprabhu, he's doing different types of bhakta bhav. At the house of Chandrasekhar Acharya, he experiences Devi bhav when they have the play and he dresses like Rukmini. But some see him like Adya Shakti. Because we're looking for names for initiates once, I said to Gurudev, Adya Shakti. He said, that's a Devi name. And I was saying, Maharaj, how come you can give Devi names and I can't? No. Vaishnavi is a Devi name. Ashutosh is the name of Shiva. So Gurudev, he somewhat conceals his great affinity and love for Shiva by going, Ashutosh Krishna. Umadav is the name of Krishna. Uma Dava, like Madhava, the Dava, the husband of Ma, Lakshmi, Madhava. Uma Dava, the husband of Uma. Gurudev has this irresistible attraction for Shiva, and Shiva for Gurudev. But we're not qualified to speak about that. But anyway, so when they're looking at Mahaprabhu, when he becomes Rukmini, and we know that's a beautiful story, that he announces he said, let's have a play. See, Krishna consciousness is supposed to be fun too. So he says, let's have a play at Chandrasekhar's house. Everyone's like, okay. And then he says, I'll become Rukmini, and starts saying who will be this and that, and Advaita Acharya is like, who do I get to be? Who do I get to be? Like, he goes, you can be whoever you want. But then, and Mahaprabhu was saying, get all the female clothing for them. And he says, also, in terms of inviting people, the only people who can come are people whose senses are completely under control. Okay, so you go get it, and then Advaita Acharya and Srivas, they're like, oh. And Mahaprabhu was like, what? And well, you said the people who go, they have to have their senses under control. So we won't be able to attend. Mahaprabhu said, Advaita, Srivas, Mahavishnu, Narada, if you can't go, who can go? Yeah. That's how devotees think. They don't think, oh, I'm so powerful. I've been celibate for 6 months now. Mahaprabhu says, seeing they're not budging, it's not just a show, then they're easily convinced. No, that's our position. Then Mahaprabhu was saying, all right, the only way to deal with them is to say, because they have faith in him, I will give you special power that during the duration of the performance, your senses will be under control. They're like, yes! So all the arrangements are made. Advaita is floating around dancing. And the play begins with, the audience is Sachi Mata, Malini, Srimad Thakur's, all these exalted devotees are there, the curtains open. And Haridas Thakur comes out with like a policeman. He's got a big handlebar mustache and he's going, look sharp everyone. He's like guard, He's saying, I just came from Vaikuntha. Or no, he says, don't fall asleep. Stay awake for this. Krishna Prem is going to be distributed today. So be awake. Be sharp. Then Srivas Thakur as Narada comes out. And Narada, oh Narada, where are you coming from? I just came from Vaikuntha. Oh really? Yes, and it was empty. You're kidding. No. Said I just came from Vaikuntha and it was empty. And all the people, and Sachi Mata says to Malini, is that your Prabhu? And she says, yes. She goes, he looks just like Narad Muni. And then Sachi Devi becomes ecstatic and faints and everyone's crying. Then they have to revive her and bring her back to Krishna consciousness. He said, yes, all the Vaikuntha is empty because Nimai Pandit appeared in Navadip. Vaikunteshwar. That's a Chaitanya Bhagavat type expression. Vaikuntanath. Then curtain opens and everyone is astonished. They see Nimai Pandit in the dress of Rukmini, and he looks just like Rukmini, and he's sitting on the floor and with his lotus finger and writing something, scratching something on the sand, and it's saying that here and tears are streaming down his lotus face, and they land on the finger, they become the ink, and then he's writing this sloka on the earth, and it says, Shrutva gunan bhuvana sundara srinvatam te nirvishakarna vivarai haratonga tapam rupam jasham jashimatam akilarta labham Tvaya Bishati Chitram Bapatrapam me. It's Rukmini writing a letter to Krishna inviting him to kidnap her. As a side point, I highly recommend this to all aspiring members of the Krishna consciousness movement. When you are inescapably surrounded by karmic circumstances and can find no way to escape, invite Krishna to kidnap you, or through one of his agents. That's my public service announcement. Our operators are standing by waiting for your call. It's 1-800 Sadhu Sangha. So, and Shubha Gunan Bhuvana Sundar. Hearing about you, I can understand you're the most beautiful thing in the world, and I now understand why we're able to hear. Nirvishakarna vivarai haratonga tapam. And now the suffering of the world doesn't matter. I don't feel it the way I used to. Rupam drisham drishimatam akyalata labam. Seeing you, nama rupa guna lila, your divine form springing out of the description in a real and tangible way. I've got everything. Like the Samadhi sloka in the Gita. Yam ladva. What is it? Nanyate, manyate nadikam tataha. Yam chapram labham. Yeah, yam chapram labham manyate nadikam tataha. There's the word missing, but same thing. When you've got Krishna, there's nothing, got everything. Yasmin vigyate sarvam eva vigyatam bhavati. Try for the one thing upon gaining which everything is got. If there is such a thing, we should try for that. Tvayachuta, achuta, tvayachuta, vishati chitra apatrapam me. She said, I'm shamelessly inviting you to do this. Mansunyata is the absence of shame or ego, trying to defend one's self, one's reputation, etc. Why? This world is meaningless in the ultimate. There's nothing here substantially. It's gone. It will all vanish. Ozimendias, I am the mighty Ozimendias, look upon my kingdom ye mighty with despair. And all you see all around, all directions, just the desert sand. There's nothing there. Bhutva, bhutva praliyate. It will appear and again disappear, appear and disappear, like everything. The waves come in, the waves go out. The seasons change. The planets orbit, the universe turns as the world turns. When there's two similar stories. Once Revata Maharaj went to see Brahma in Brahmaloka. He needed to get a suitable husband for his daughter, Revati. At the time, two singers, dancers were playing named Ha Ha and Hu Hu. I know that would get a rise out of the Chinese section. Mama Hu Hu. Ni hao. Mama Hu Hu. Chinese censors are deciphering that now. They're saying, oh, what? So Ha Ha and Hu Hu, you laugh. That is their names, Ha Ha and Hu Hu. They're good singers and dancers. You know, singers and dancers always have some. I mean, is Lady Gaga funny? What about Ha Ha and Hu Hu? Hi, Lady Gaga. You know, same thing. Gaga, Hu Hu, Ha Ha, Ha Ha, Hu Hu. What's the name of that Chinese comedian? Mei Bing Bing? Fan Bing Bing. Fan Bing Bing. Bing Bing. Ha Ha and Hu Hu. Still, you laugh. So Revata Maharaj went there with Revati, and Brahma saying, when Ha Ha and Hu Hu, don't laugh, when they finished their dance, it was very important that Revata Maharaj not laugh. Don't laugh. When they finished their dance, then I can talk to you. He's like, okay. So when they finished, a couple 100,000 years went by. It's Brahmaloka, jet lag, time zone. It's got more time zones than Russia. Sometimes I make myself laugh. As some person came to visit my mother once, I've always been moving things my whole life, like huge things, but like put them on roller skates. I would figure out how to do it. And it's like, they hear all this stuff going on down the basement, the person, what is that? What's all that noise going on there? She said, that's my son. What's he doing? You know, is he with anybody? No. He has fun by himself. Anyway, so all this time went by, and then Brahma says, how can I help you? And he said, well, I was looking for a suitable husband for my daughter, and but she's from the Treta Yuga, and now it's Dwapara Yuga, and she's 17 feet tall. You understand? She's like, what is that? It's almost 6 meters. She's 6 meters tall, because that's the average height of a girl, Kshatriya type girl in Treta Yuga. And Brahma's like, let me think for a minute, son. You know, came up with Balaram is the only person who can be her husband. But Balaram's around 15 feet tall, like 5 meters. So then they meet, and he just kind of, you know, he can do that. He's Baladev. Little gravity flow thing going, like, made her appropriately sized. And she is happy, Balaram. Right. So why did I mention that? Because it's talking about the letter. Oh, you've got everything, try for the one thing, but maybe it will come. But anyway, shamelessly offering yourself. So anyway, so when Mahaprabhu, Nilai Pandit, the tears are coming down from his eyes, streaming he's writing this sloka, all the devotees are crying tears of prem. And he goes through various pastimes there, including one where he becomes Adya Shakti, the original Shakti. But that means different things to different people. Yeyatamam prapadyante tam stateva bhajamyaham. So beautiful. Krishna, when you say he's Akila Rasamrita Murti, you think, oh, he's the nectar man, he's nectar personified. But one thing we should understand too, it means he can reciprocate all varieties of tastes. Again, we think it's like Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhura. That's not incorrect. But like when Madhva says, there's a thing, the Devata of the thing, the Guru, Baladev, and then Radha Govinda Chidlila Amritam. Guru said, I say just the opposite. There's Radha and Krishna, and then Baladev, and then Guru, Tattva, then Devata, and the thing. That's the subjective evolution of consciousness. So, really, Janmad Yasya Yaton Vaya Aditaratas, etc., the origin is not only Madhura Rasa, but Parakiya is the origin of everything. Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavi Tabis Tabiri Eva Nijirupataya Kalavi. Where are they all expanding from? Radha and Krishna, who are not married. Parakiya Bhav, Parakiya Ra is the source of everything. It's the most tasteful substance. And within that, its highest expression, Mahabhav. And Mahabhav's Rupini Radha Thakurani. So, some, as they look, they're all expressing, some are seeing Radharani, others are seeing Lakshmi Devi, Mahalakshmi, some are seeing, sometimes he'll start laughing wildly, and they're seeing Ma Kali. Other times they're seeing Durga Devi. They're seeing the full spectral range of Devi. That's why Kaviraj Goswami summarized in 2 words, Devi Bhav. He shows all different varieties of Devi Bhav. And who's Devi? Chayeva Yasya Bhuvanani Bibarti Durga. A shadow, beautiful, and exquisitely, inconceivably beautiful shadow. Real, not when I say shadow, you're going, oh, you mean like the one of them? No, it's an example. They're full-blown personalities, but compared to the original, they're a shadow representation of the Chit Shakti, Hladini Shakti. And it's necessary, like Guru Maharaj said, for Chit Jagat, Achit Jagat, the conscious world, the unconscious world. If Chit Shakti servitors are gonna, in this capacity, serve in this plane, then Chirabhas, Chayabhas, they have to go to the shadow stage. So even Guru Maharaj says Chayabhas, you can authenticate and corroborate in the sloka of Brahma Samhita. There needs to be a shadowy stage of transition into the cent% mundane. So Durga Devi is described as the superintendent of the jailhouse, as I mentioned before. So some people think, well then worship Durga Devi, she can let you out. That's true, in some rare instances, it's true. But, or please Durga Devi and you'll have executive prisoner privileges. That's true. It's not untrue. But that Durga Devi, Chayeva Yasya Bhuvanani Bibarti Durga. Forget the next line, but it's basically saying, but she works under the direction of Govinda. Govinda Adi Purusham Tamahamajamin. Shankaracharya said, because obviously these Mayavadis, they don't get it. I mean, he made sure they didn't get it. But in the end, he's going, Bhaja Govinda, Bhaja Govinda, Bhaja Govinda, Mudhamate. You stupid asses. That's what he's saying, Mudha. You stupid asses. What does an ass do? They carry a burden. So he's saying, you're carrying the burden of the Vedas, all these books, and you don't know what they mean. You don't get it. Bhaja Govinda, Bhaja Govinda, Bhaja Govinda, Mudhamate. Sang prate, sang nihite, nahi nahi rakshati, dukrin karane. What do you think this is going to help you, protect you at the time of death? Like Gurudev said, the man who, he's such a nerd Sanskrit scholar, that one meaning of Vyagra is one who smells. So, but the more substantial meaning is tiger. So, he's in danger. There's a somehow he comes in connection with a tiger, and they're going, watch out, be careful, be careful. And he's going, no. Here in the Monet Williams, it says it means they're only smelling. That's all. So you don't have to worry. They will smell. That's all. Then when he's being devoured by the tiger, he goes, oh yeah, remember there's another level of definition. They're also eating. Yeah, forgot that one. So he's saying, nahi nahi rakshati, dukrin karani. You think, that the Sanskrit going to save you at the time of death? Yam yam vapi smaram bhavam tajat yante kalevram tam tam evoite konteya sadatad bhava bhavitaha. Bhav means in your heart, not just like whatever you're thinking of at the time of death. Don DeLillo, famous modern writer, has some guy paranoid in the airplane. He's going like, he wakes up in a dream and he tells his wife, he's like, what if, because he's hearing a jingle for a commercial, and he goes, what if at the time of death I'm hearing, I love what you do for me, Toyota. Like that's the last thing I think of. Not on a technicality. Krishna tadiya parapankaja panjarantam adyeva vishatumi manasa rajahansa pranat pranaya samaye kapabata pittai kantavaro danavido smarane nukaste kutaste smarane na kutaste, won't be able to remember. Saying, I think it was that Kulashekar, the Mukunda Malastotram, Krishna tadiya padapanga japanjarantam adeva beshatini manasa rajahansa. May the swan of my mind take shelter in the stem of your holy lotus feet. Now. See, because at the time of death, pranaya samaye kappa, like kappa, bitta, vayu, kappa, bata, pitte, saying all of my, the three, what are they called? Elements? Will be out of balance. The lungs full of mucus, like, I mean, if you think having the flu makes you feel like you're gonna die, you can imagine what it's like when you're dying. You probably wish you just had the flu. So he's saying, at that time, how will I think of you? So it's better. Right now, I'm relatively healthy, to dedicate all my energy and focus on you, upon you. And what is that in the Upanishad? Tadu sarvasasya bhahyataha. No, that's another one, but about remembering. Om krita smara krita, smara krita, I forget exactly, but in the Isha Upanishad, where Prabhupada's rendering saying, maybe I will forget you, my Lord, at the time of death. Please don't forget me. I have faith in you. I may forget you. I'm that type of person. But I have faith in you. If you'll kindly remember me something at that time, that will be good for me. So, Durga Gatim, Durgam patastat kavayo bidanti. The Upanishads say the spiritual path is covered with obstacles. Sometimes Durga means obstacle. Got to get past Durga Devi in that sense. When Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Jiva's leaving the world, told Maya, comes before and said, where are you going? And I'm tired of being your slave. A slave of my senses, a slave of you. I'm leaving. And she's saying, all right, hold that thought. How about a new deal? Like what? You'll be Shiva and I'll be your consort. Is that? Mainam to Kriti Vidyam, Mainam to Maheshwaram. Anything like. And then you'll be the Lord and I'll be your servitor. Like, really? Would I lie? Shiva wannabes. That's what Guru Maharaj said. Jivas are Shiva wannabes. You cannot, you can attain to the position of Shiva. You cannot become Shiva Tattva. But you can reach Shiva Loka, a Shiva-like position. Because if you were Shiva, Bhaktivinoda, it's like a joke in Jaiva Dharma when they're discussing back and forth. And so one man is teasing the Shakta, and he said, let me understand this. So he told Durga Devi, Ma, right, mother. So when you're a Buddha Jiva, Devi is Ma, mother. And when you become liberated, she becomes your consort, your lover. Your mother becomes your lover when you're liberated. You become a mother lover when you're liberated? I don't think so. That's the way you put that. So when your condition is Ma, then Ma becomes your Devi. Delusion. Guru Maharaj said when Shakti has some person achieves that position, then Durga Devi says, what would you like? Anything I offered you now. He said, I want the nectar from your lips. He says that to the goddess. And she is to carry his stone slab around that he meditated on. As they say, Sridharam Sakalaveti. Sridhar knows everything. So, when they say Puja in Bengal, you don't have to say Durga Puja. When they go, oh, we had a great puja last year, it can only mean one thing, Durga Puja. We may call it Durga Puja, they just call it Puja. And it's still the biggest festival in Bengal. And they make pandals all over the city, elaborate, takes them like a month or so to erect these things. We watch them all the time from Dum Dum Park. And they have a contest. The ones that are the best get like, a lakh of rupee prize. But these men are so skilled at what they do. And all the diorama makers who used to live in Krishna Nagar, the reason they moved was because of Durga Puja, the annual business in Calcutta. So the whole group of the famous diorama makers, their whole families, they all moved to a particular part of Calcutta. They still live there. They all live in the same area and make the murtis, the temporary ones. But I would always go around visiting the different ones while they're working on them. And they're so expert, just as an example. Everyone wants to do something unique. And they also have some Bengali, what do you call it? The Weltanschauung, the way of seeing, worldview, way of seeing things. So they believe she's the source of everything. So she can rightfully be seen, expressed in an endless variety of manifestations. So one of them, I couldn't believe it, they built an exact replica of a pyramid in Egypt. Then I was like dying to go inside, no pun intended. And so you could see, I'm from the hood, 15 number tank, Dum Dum Park. Like, this guy's okay. You know. They let me in. And Durga Devi looks like Cleopatra. It's got the, you know, the whole, with the serpent headdress and everything, totally like Cleopatra, but it's Durga Devi. And on the right and left is like Ganesh and Kartikeya, and they look like Egyptian ministers. This totally blew my mind. I just said, like, how did you do that? And he just like picked up a book like he got from a bookstore, like National Geographic or something, and he goes, it's all in here. I just like copied what was there, but put Durga Devi in there. And they're happy to do that because they think, yeah, she can appear this way, she can appear that way, she can appear in any way. And it was just extraordinary. That's why I told Chinese devotees also in Shenzhen with Giriraj, yes, we can have a certain amount of Indian paraphernalia, but let him play in China with some red silk with gold Chinese designs on it. He has this one red cap with little like Chinese swastikas on it. You know, it looks cool and cute. And it's like he's playing. Like Gurudev said, Guru Radha Madhava Sundarju in Petersburg, like the Bengalis, their minds are blown when they see Radharani dressed like a Tsarina. And she has that like big, look, it's faux fur, but the hat that you wear in the winter time, and someone was going to get them ice skates. Like sometimes they put padukas for deities. They want to give them like ice skates, like they go out skating. It's like their play. So Gurudev, when he shows the picture, it's also beautiful to show them, like, it looks like they're from India, and you go, no, this is in Russia. But if you show something that they've never seen, like Krishna looking like a czar and Radharani looking like a tsarina, that blows their minds. So it's something like that. So Durga Devi. And I'll just conclude with this. Such a beautiful thing happened in 2009 at this time. So that means October, November, December, January, February, March. 5 months before Gurudev's disappearance. He's very ill. And we know his affinity for Shiva and Mahakali. And I told the time we're riding in the car to Navdeep during the fog, and his driver, Jayadev, like has these glasses that look like steampunk glasses. I mean, it looks like 2 Coke bottles put inside, you know, like the bottom of a Coke bottle. And they're like, and he has cataracts on his eyes, I can see them. And he's the driver. And this morning, it's dark, it's the sunrise, and now it's foggy. You can't see your hand in front of your face. And he's like, and then we're going to have a head-on collision. And I go, Hare Krishna! And Bhakti Kiran Giri Maharaj, he says, Radhe! And Gurudev goes, Jai Ma Kali! And the car goes, you know. But we all said it at the same time. Anyway, so what was I saying? Oh, so Gurudev, we're with him, and he's in a particular divine mood. And I look out the window, and the number 10 tank, here's where the Sevak Bhavan is, and I look down, I see Durga Devi, big, beautiful Durga Devi, coming down the road. Yeah. And it looked as if Durga Devi herself was coming for darshan of His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govindadev Goswami Maharaj. That's what appeared to be happening. I watched the children celebrate Rath Yatra in the neighborhood. Some very cute. They pull their carts to the deity, Radha Madan, Guru Gauranga Radha Madan Mohanju, then circumambulate the deity, then pull them out, and then, and they have like a little kirtan or something, And one little girl is going, and the mother on the side, she's pulling her cart, and I went, just to encourage, I went like, oh, Jai Jagannath! And she's like very happy, and then I started watching, she goes, no, Shahib, and stops, and then she, on the back of her cart, she pulls a little curtain, gives me some prasad, when they give me some Jagannath prasad, like, don't just go, Her mother's beaming. But around the corner, the rickshawwala kids, I see, oh, they're playing too, because like on Shivratri, they dress up like Shiva. That's like Halloween for them, but they all dress up like Shiva. Anyway, I look and go, oh, Jai Jagannath. And I look, it's a Jagannath Rath Yatra chariot, but they've got Ma Kali on the throne, and they're like pulling that. And, Bengalis, you just can't change them. It's better to just go with it. They got a little Devi in them, just waiting to be worshipped or to come out. It's fine, it's wonderful. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says in his village, Ula, they worship Chandi, and he observed the Brahmins, they're very tricky. Like the man on the flight sitting next to me, and he goes, I see you're taking the vegetarian food, isn't it? I said, yeah, I'm taking vegetarian things. I'm also taking. Oh, very nice. He goes, I'm also taking non-veg. Oh. Okay. So, Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, the Brahmins would make sure that they're at the time of the puja, there's going to be goats sacrificed. So there's going to be goat prasad. So they don't eat meat, but I'm taking prasad. Understand? Like Guru Dev also told, the man who every year he brings a goat to be sacrificed at this time to Ma Kali, when Kali Puja comes a little bit later. And then one year, he doesn't bring a goat. And everyone's going like, Baba, no goat this year? And he goes, no teeth! Then they understand, oh, that's why he's bringing the goat. No teeth! So he stopped bringing the goat because he can't eat the prasad. Anyway, let's not get into a whole thing about Bengal, that worshipful domain, Gaudiya, Gaudadesh. But there's some bizarre folk wandering the hallways. Different. Todaram, Das Babaji identified 13 Sahaja Sampradayas. There's now, 130. That was at the time. There's one, I don't want to conclude on this, but there's one group called the Guru Prashadis, right? Everything should be offered to the Guru first, right? Including your wife on your wedding night. And we're taking the prasad. The Guru Prashadis. One Indian man explained the Rasa Leela to me. I'm sure he did. We're going to meet for coffee. He's going to explain more. I'm sure he will. So, to mention, one needs to end on a sweet. So, the sweet thing is that Gurudev, he's aware of all of these things. He had talked about the big bomb, the big tilak, the big tulsi mala, and the whole outfit, and he's at the market in Navadip, and you see at the top of his bag a fishtail going like this, and he's going, Jai Nitai Go, and the fishtail's like wagging in the bag, Nitai Gorunga. So he knows all of these things better than we'll ever know. Bhaktivinoda Thakur observed so many things. Right. Guru Maharaj as well. One of his relatives, the Sanskritian, wrote a mantra justifying meat eating. So it has all, the right syllables and sandhi and everything in it. So, in the Bhagavatam it says, whatever learned Brahmins say invariably is accepted as truth. They quote some scripture, a little bit of Sanskrit. I pointed out before, when we would give talks and a large member of the Indian community would come in any particular place, and I say, as long as they hear a particular type of shastric noise, it's like, okay. When I asked the Thai ladies who came that one time to the class, I was wondering how much of I was saying they understand. I go, the ladies, I'm very happy. And I go, which part did you like? She said, the Sanskrit. I'm saying, oh, the part you couldn't understand at all. The other part you could understand a little bit or not, but the part you liked the best was the part you couldn't understand at all. You go, yes. And thank you. Thank you very much. But I can understand the vibration of the Sanskrit, that type of sound. So, Gurudev, he knew at the same time how to be generous. I mean, we're a little fault finding with our friends there, but they've sprung out of the soil of Punya Bhumi, India. Right? Or even Bengal, Godadesh. So they're in an extraordinary position from the beginning. Bharata Bhumi Te Hoila Manusha Janmajar Janmasar Taka Karu Paru Upakar. They're in a position to actually do something substantial in the world if they will reawaken to their innate wealth that they're carrying with them. They have high levels of Sukriti. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur says in the beginning of Jaiva Dharma, and the universe, the earth planet is special. On the earth planet, Bharat Varsha, India is special. Within India, Godadesh, Bengal, and there, Navadvip, shows as connotation increases, denotation decreases. So the Aparad Bandhana Pat, the place where all the offenders are forgiven their offenses. So, Srila Gurudev, in his final days, he said, everyone has some fault, no doubt. He said, big or small, that is not the question. He said, but if someone has devotion, is an exclusive servitor, he said, that has to be acknowledged and given some respect and honor. Not that the flaws cancel the devotion. The devotion conceals the flaws. That's the point. The devotion, love, conceals deficiency. The devotion conceals the flaws. Bhavagrahi Janardhan. We're procedurally off or a little off here and there. That's not Krishna's concerned. The bhavita, what's in the heart? When Gurudev loved to tell a story of the byad, means hunter. What he catches, he's selling. That's how he makes a living. And he's got a scale, and he weighs the meat on the scale. And to this day in India, anybody, they're using those 500 gram, 250, dice of 150. They always, you'll see next to them, they keep some stones to like make it all work. The stone he's using is a Salagrama Sila. That's the stone he put while he's weighing the bloody meat. Right? And some Brahmin comes by and like recognizes the Salagrama Sila. You fool! You foolish man! You don't know what you're doing. You're going to hell. What? Baba, what? Yeah. Oh, you give me, he takes the Salagrama. I'll try and purify everything, do the 16 types of paraphernalia, all the right mantras, everything, and hopefully somehow we can hope to nullify the hell that awaits you and operatic offensive reaction. So he takes the deity, makes nice sing-a-song, puts the deity there, little crown, flutes. I don't know if he put a smiley face, but anyway, he does all of that. Then he's saying, and the abhishek with the milk, the panchagavya, everything, all the right mantra. Goes to sleep very self-satisfied, pleased with himself. Then the Salagram deity appears to him in a dream and says, "You fool! You don't know what you're doing. And you're making me very unhappy, annoying me with your puja." Saying, you don't understand, that hunter, he's a great devotee of mine. He has much devotion in his heart for me. He's appearing this way, but he has devotion in his heart. And you don't know how happy I was swinging on his scale. So we prefer to look at it in that way, that whatever bogus deviations there are, they have achieved such a high level of sukriti. What Western people have a hard time getting around, their heads around certain aspects of theistic culture, spiritual understanding, comes to them intuitively. I once said to somebody once, maybe when I said a rickshawala is more, in Bengal, more advanced than the President of the United States, spiritually. Because they know who is Nitai, who is Gauranga, even Nitai Go. He knows who Nitai and Gaur are. And he has some affection for them. Whatever flaws there are, that's what Guru Maharaj said. He said, suppose a man has the devotee, like, no illicit sex, no intoxication, no meeting, no gambling. When we were doing initiations in Eastern Europe once, as you may know, they made all the kids, teenagers in Eastern Europe learn Russian. So when we'd have these big meetings, the language that everyone knew a little bit, the Hungarians or the Bulgarians, or they could talk to each other in Russian. Anyway, we're doing these initiations, going like the this is ISKCON, so the 4 regulative principles, and there's one guy there, he's like really, he's trying to get it right, and he's going, not to meet, and everyone goes, yeah, he goes, not to, and he's going through each one like that, and they go, yeah, he does 3 out of 4, and then he goes, he's trying to think, he's going, not to black market, And everyone goes, ha ha ha! They start laughing. He goes, black market, okay. Because everyone laughed. So, why did I say that? Because, about rule mongering. So, in the heart, some sleeping, suppressed, natural love and affection. So Guru Maharaj said, suppose a man has a bad habit of intoxication. He said, suppose someone perfectly follows all the regulative principles, so-called. Right? No illicit sex, no gambling, no meeting, no intoxication, etc. Right? Like a Mormon is the only person I can think of who might be doing that. Because once someone came to me and said, someone in the Ukraine said that you said when people get married, they'll have like unrestricted sexual activity and it'll gradually whittle down to the point of the last person in the world you want to have sex with is your wife. I'm just kidding. And I said, so they were discouraged? He goes, no, they want to join. So anyway, so he said, suppose someone follows all these principles, right, but they have no appreciation for Guru, Gauranga, Radha Govinda, Vaishnava. He said, there's another man, he has appreciation for Guru, Gauranga, Radha Govinda, Guru and Vaishnava, but has some bad habit of intoxication, or some bad habit of whatever it is. He said, who is in the superior position? It's the person who has some connection and affinity with Guru, Gauranga, Radha Govinda, etc. They have a bad habit. The other person, as perfect as they might appear to be, doesn't have a connection with reality. They don't have a clue. Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavati kinchana savai ganais tatra samasate sura. Harava bhaktasya kuto mahadguna manoraten asato davato bahi. Anyway, this is just going to keep going on. I'm going to stop. You get the idea.